What is going on? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm in here early morning. It's not even 5:30 on this Saturday morning. The camera is moving a little bit on the on the car here, but we're in here. We're in for push. As a pro natural bodybuilder, I'm going to take you through a full push session, should I say. So as I said, we're in a powerhouse. Hopefully I can provide some value, bit of commentary, let you know what I'm thinking, bit of a raw, mic'd up session. So, without blabbering on too much, I'm going to catch you inside. Alrighty, what is going on? We are in here for push. As I said in the car, I'm just doing some warm-ups here on the Flex Fitness. Lateral raise, get some blood moving, the juices flowing. This is one that I historically probably tried to stack some weight on. Well, I did, in fact. I was up to sort of 20, 25 kilos with the pin, gym pin, and, maybe I probably wasn't getting the delta recruitment that I would otherwise like. Also forced the hand with probably not wanting to put a gym pin in due to respecting the gym. So, yeah, I'm just going to be doing the stack for probably 3 sets in that sort of 15 to 20 rep range. I'll do another warm-up or 2. But the big emphasis that I'm placing here is delt recruitment as opposed to, shrugging up with my traps, making it pretty smooth in terms of my arm path, etc. But as opposed to, big swings, huge pauses and yanks up and things like that before every rep. So, yeah, smooth, controlled, delt recruitment. And yeah, so, I'll do another warm-up and then we'll get into it. As I said, sticking with the stack here, the score holding some D handles to effectively emulate holding dumbbells like a dumbbell lateral raise. So I find it really helps with recruitment, neural connection. My delts. I'm going to do 2 more sets, which I won't film, but 2 more sets than this. I'll catch you for the shoulder press. For the last 6 months, over 6 months now, since Finley's been born, even a bit before that, I was training first thing in the morning and have been training first thing in the morning. So, as I said, over 6 months now. And a lot of people ask me, how do you do it? How do you not only motivated to get up and train, but just, pick solid lifts, move some solid weight, jump under a hack squat and move 4.5 plates and, deadlift 220 kilos and, RDL 220 kilos, how do you do that? And I think it's just the new norm and you get used to it. First off, it obviously was a bit rough. Historically, I'm always been an afternoon/evening trainer. But yeah, that transition, once you get used to it, as I said, it becomes the new norm. And then all of a sudden it's like you then create, your baseline numbers and things like that. And then you progress from there. Yeah, sure. Maybe initially was there a slight, adjustment. Hey man, how are you? What's going on?
I don't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine. How's things?
How's the little one?
It's really good, really good.
All right. You got help?
Sorry?
Mum and dad on both sides?
Yeah. So there's lots of help there, which is really good.
He's going all right?
Yeah, he's almost 7 months now. I think I sort of concluded on that in the sense that, the morning sessions become the new norm. You make it work, don't you? So that being said, elbow sides are on. And we are going to, in the shoulder press, I've done a couple of warm-ups with 1 plate, 2 plate. Let's jump on 3 plates, which I've got. So let's go. Alrighty, we've got 4 bickies loaded. This will be the final warm-up, and this is when the wrist wraps go on. It's always, not always, but it's usually that last or second last warm-up set that these go on. Particularly on a machine, I don't feel like I need as much support and stability. Okay. 3, 2. Nice. All right, top set inbound. It's time to find a song. Oh, yeah. What do we think? Can you see that? Headstrong by Trapped. Let's get it. 3, 2. That was sick, but it felt good. That was a match rep set, so it was 7 reps with 4.5 plus at 1.25 per side. So it's nice. So back off. Okie dokie. We got 4 bickies for the back off. Moving it with intent. Hopefully, see how we go. 3, 2. Despite matching reps with that back off 4 plates for 10, I get so much delt recruitment out of it. And my delts are blown up from it. So that's the silver lining in terms of, as long as you're getting delt recruitment out of it, getting a good pump. Yeah, I'll take that. Following on from what I was just saying in terms of exercises and sort of not progressing them week on week, particularly when you've been running certain movements for, 6+ months. And it's that whole mindset of, if you're not progressing, does that mean you're actually stimulating the muscle? I think, it's like on that last set, like with 4 plates, does it mean I'm not stimulating muscle because I'm not progressing weight and load and reps? I would say not. And the same applies here on the Flex Fitness chest press. I just get such a good chest recruitment out of it. Okie dokie. We've got 3 bickies loaded for the final warm-up. I actually had, there was a guy that was just before me on this movement, and he had, so I asked him how many sets he got to go, and he said he had 1, and he actually asked for a spot. And one of the key things was sitting too high on the bench relative to his body, and just having those traps far too elevated and shoulders too elevated and not, depressed and retracted, which is going to mean that you're actually not going to get as much chest recruitment as you would like. And you can probably see, and you can see from the angle of me filming these,
that I'm trying to and thinking about pressing from down to up, as opposed to he was very round in the shoulders and pressing sort of almost horizontally. And that'll just mean that your delts are coming into a hell of a lot more, as opposed to your elbows are too high, as opposed to having your elbows low and driving up. That's going to mean that you, like if you're pressing from down to up, you can't then roll your shoulders forward. As opposed to if your elbows are high, it's very easy to bring those front delts into it. So you can see here from the start, trying to dig those shoulder blades in, create a nice arch in my back. So it's only sort of my upper back and my glutes touching the bench. My mid lower back is not touching the bench. So elbows starting from a very low position. Yep, okay. Pop some more weight and I'll catch you for the top set. Because one of us is going, one of us. 3, 2. I think that was same as prior rotation where I got 6, attempted the 7th, wasn't quite there, and probably knew it wasn't there, to be fair. I mean, it felt good. My chest gets pretty blown up by that. And yeah, there's not much else to add. Apart from that is, chest recruitment is good. Great success. Do a back off with 2 and something. You'll see. Oh, yeah, that's 12 reps. That was 11 last rotation. I went for the 11th. I went for the 12th last week, but couldn't lock out. That's a rep added. Moved pretty quickly, but, I felt like I was always in control. Wasn't slinging it around. Maybe there's room for a little bit of further eccentric control. That's good. Chest is pumped. A lot of people are focusing on, their biceps to build their arms. And then for triceps, they're focusing on press downs. So how many people just do press downs for triceps? Maybe sprinkling a few dips in there. But the missing link is overhead movements. Obviously you can do it on cables and I think that's great. But from a loading perspective, I just find, and for me personally, I've had a shoulder reconstruction in my right shoulder. On a cable set, if I'm doing something overhead that's loading anything overly too heavy, it puts my shoulder in a compromised position, anything hand overhead, elbow overhead. In a sense, I just feel unstable. Whereas a machine having my, elbows and hands over top of my head, it means that I'm stable in a fixed plane. So it works well. So that being said, I've done a warm up with sort of 2/3 of the stack. And now we're going to go to the stack and we'll see how we go.
Okay, moving on to the fly, plate loaded fly. I was previously, when I was using this, holding it super high from the handle. Then invariably it turns into more of a decline fly. But yeah, much preferring it to have my hands a little bit lower. Turn into more of a regulation fly. Yeah. All right. So last rotation that I actually did this session, I'd normally jump on the live fitness cables over the other side of the gym, but it was being used. Actually, it's already been used now. And then I jumped over to these cables and did cuff laterals, stand in as opposed to line, unilateral instead of bilateral. Felt really good. So we're going to continue running that. Because why the hell not? So how was I gripping it? Yeah, here we go. Find you're able to get, an almost a better stretch because you're able to then come across your body. Anyway, that's all right. So I'm going to do the left side and do another on both. So 2 sets total. Alrighty, we're just wrapping up some abdominals, but you don't need to see that. As you can see, my training, I don't want to say it's boring. That's not the right term. It's repetitive. It's consistent. Consistent is what I would use the term in a sense that I can probably tell I'm doing similar movements, similar movement patterns. And literally the only change for the most part has been a cuff lateral change from lying on the ground, dual arm, to standing, single arm. It's as different as it gets, to be honest. It works. I'm remaining consistent with these movements, and it makes it easier for me, particularly when I'm coming into the gym first thing in the morning, trying to get in good time. It means that I'm very clear as to what weight I want to put on the bar, what weight I need to utilize. It's not like I'm fucking around trying to what's the seat height, what loading should I work up to, things like that. So yeah, that's the benefit of keeping consistent with the movements. But anyway, that's going to round out the session. How nice is that? It's not even 7:30 and the session is done. Time to get home on this Saturday. Finley is up by now. He was probably up half an hour ago. So get home and spend the morning and the afternoon with him, sprinkled with some check-ins. So
yeah, that being said, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like, please subscribe. We are well and truly above 1,000 subs, which is awesome. Until next time, catch you in the next video.